Hello and welcome. Today's lesson is going to be about solving equations. As always, you're going to have a link for a calculator, so go ahead and click on the calculator. When the calculator opens, I'm going to show you how to best set up your pages so that it will be more efficient for you using your Chromebook in Go Formative. So basically move your mouse over here until you touch the tab. When you touch the tab, click and hold, and then drag it down. That will open the calculator on its own page. And basically what you want to do is move your mouse across to this side, and you want to minimize the page, okay? And then you want to kind of move the page to the corner like so. And then you want to click on the Go Formative page, and you want to make it smaller too, and then move it to the other side, okay? And once you open to the other side, go ahead and make it bigger, and go ahead and stop right here where you can start seeing the first button right here. This way, you'll be able to use your Go Formative and your calculator at the same time. Make sure your calculator is about halfway, a little bit less than halfway. And this will be a great setup for you to solve the equations and use the calculator more efficiently. All right, so let's get started with the two examples for this lesson. The lesson today is called Solving Equations 1, and please copy this in your notes. The steps of solving equations. They're going to be very important. The first step is to eliminate parentheses. The second step is to combine like terms. The third step is to move the numbers. The fourth step is to combine like terms again. And the fifth and last step is to divide both sides. If you need to stop the video and copy this down, go ahead and do so that you will be able to have those steps on your notes. Let's go ahead and start with the first example. These examples are going to be similar to the problems that you're going to solve in your assignments, where you're going to be asked to solve an equation. And here I'm going to be giving you the final answer so you can check if you're doing it correctly. Please notice that the objective today is for you to do the steps to get to the final answer. So click on Show Your Work, and once you do that, you'll be able to see the problem that you're going to solve. And always remember, your calculator is right there. If there's space over here, you can make it a little bit bigger so that it'll be more efficient for you to use the calculator and solve the problems at the same time. I also encourage you to change the color of your pen to something darker, like a blue or purple. Try not to use the light color pens because it's hard to see. And try to make it the pen thicker so it'll be easier to write. So this will be a good thickness for the pen. Press OK, and we're ready to start. So the first step in solving an equation is to eliminate parentheses. So you're going to take your pencil, and I forgot to change the color myself, so let me change it. Press OK, and right there, I'm going to distribute the number here, 6 times 3 and 6 times -5, and then I do the same thing here. This lines helps me to know exactly which numbers I'm multiplying and which numbers I'm not. So I highly encourage you to use those lines. Once you've done that, you're ready for the calculator. So you're going to click right here, and you're going to multiply 6 times 3. You're going to get 18. So go ahead and click the text, and you can write then 18x. Then we're going to go to the next one, which is 6 times -5. So we do 6 times -5, and we get -30. So you come over here, double click, and we write -30. And the next number is -1 times 2. So -1 times 2, we get -2. Double click, -2x. Don't forget the x. And next one is -1 times 8. And we get -8, so double click. One of the reasons why we kept the little space right here is because, one, I can see the numbers right there, in case I forget when I'm writing. And 2 is easy to go back and forth from the calculator to the assignment, okay? So we did there, -1 times 8. Now we're going to put the equal sign because we're done with this side. So go ahead and press space, equal sign, and we're ready to multiply the other side. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do 8 times 3. So 8 times 3 gives us 24. I'm going to write 24. And don't forget the x. And then we're going to do 8 times 5. So go ahead and do 8 times 5. And we get 40. So double click and positive 40. Then we're going to do -5 times 2. We get -10 x. And then we're going to do -5 times 6. And we're going to get -30. So basically, I eliminated parentheses on this side, eliminated parentheses on this side. One thing that would be nice to do is to line up the equal sign. So go ahead and move this and line up the equal sign so it's right on top of the border. You can use this key right here to move things around. Now that we have that, we're ready for the second step, which is combine like terms. We're going to combine one side at a time. So first we're going to combine the left side. So make sure you have your scribble on and you're going to underline. So 18x, who can 18x combine? It can combine with 2x. And then combine with a different underline the other numbers. So -30 can combine with -8. So let's go ahead and do the combination. So right there we click and we do 18 minus 2. So 18 minus 2, you're going to get 16. So let's go ahead and write 16x. And then we're going to do -30 minus 8. So -30 minus 8 gives us -38. So double click. And we're going to get -38. And press space, equal sign. Now we're ready for the other side. So press the pen, and we're going to underline the numbers that I can combine. So I'm going to underline with 2 lines to be different from this side. So 24x can combine with -10x. 40 can combine with -30. So basically, on this side, I'm going to do 24 minus 10. It gives us 14x. So 14x. And then we're going to do 40 minus 30. And we get positive 10. Now that you have that, we can line them up. So click on this. And we move it right there in the center. So now we're ready for the third step, which is to move the numbers. Okay. So basically, we're going to start moving the numbers. The idea about moving the numbers is that we want the numbers with x on this side, the left side, and we want the numbers without x on this other side. And basically, I'm looking at 16x. 16x has an x, so it's on the right side. So I'm just going to bring it down. 38 does not have an x, so it needs to go to the other side. And there's a special rule here. When you move a number from one side to the next, you need to change the sign. So if the number is negative, it will become positive. If the number is positive, it will become negative. Okay, so in this case, -38 is negative, so we're going to move to the other side, so it's going to become positive 38. Okay, on this one, I'm going to write separately from that one. So I'm going to write positive 38. Then I'm going to continue. So I did the 16, I brought it down, 38, I moved to the other side, become positive. And now 14x. 14x has an x, so it needs to move to the left side. So I'm going to double click right here next to the 16, and I'm going to press space, and it becomes -14x. And then we have 10. 10 does not have a letter, so all we need to do is bring it down. So let's click the T, and click on the 38. And then we're going to bring down the positive 10. Now make sure also to add an equal sign right there. So I can add an equal sign. So basically, let me organize here. So I have 16 minus 14. I have the equal sign. I have the 38 plus 10. All in one line right there. So basically, notice what happened. I brought down the 16. I moved the 38 to the other side. I moved the 14 to this side. And I brought down the 10. Notice that the 38 that moved became positive. The 14 that moved became negative. But notice what I have. I have numbers with X on the left, numbers without X on the right. And that's exactly what move the numbers is all about. We're organizing the numbers so the numbers with X is on the left, numbers without X on the right. Now we're going to do step number 4, which is combine like terms. So we do 16 minus 14. So let's use the calculator. 16 minus 14 gives us 2. So let's go ahead and write 2x and press space equals space. And then we're going to do 38 plus 10. So 38 plus 10 gives us 48. So let's go ahead and write that, 48. And let's make sure to line up the equal sign. And there we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides. You're going to divide both sides of the equation. So you can either use the scribble to make a little line, or you can use this line right here that will make a straight line. And you're going to make a straight line under the 2x and a straight line under the 48. And what you're going to do, you're going to divide both sides by the number that is next to the x. In this case, the 2 is next to the x, so that means I'm going to divide the bottom by 2, and I'm going to divide the bottom here by 2. So both sides are divided by the same number. Now notice this, 2x divided by 2x is the same as 1x. So basically what we say is that the 2 cancels, and the x is left alone. So basically 2 divided by 2 is x, or 1x, but we usually don't write the 1. And that is going to be equal to 48 divided by 2. So go over here, 48 divided by 2 equals 24. So we click right there, and we write 24. And there we go. That's the answer for our problem here. So let's take a look if that's the right answer. If you notice right here, remember right there is the final answer, x equals 24. That's exactly what we got. So we know that we did it correctly. And when you do the assignment, I'll be checking these steps to make sure that they are correct, that you're following the 5 steps. 5 steps are eliminate parentheses. Number 2, combine like terms. Number 3, move the numbers. Number 4, combine like terms again. Number 5, divide both sides. Okay, once you make sure that you got the right answer, click right there and go on to the next problem. So let's go ahead and start the next problem. We'll click right there, and we're going to do the first step. I'm going to go ahead and change colors this time. Let's do the purple. First step is to eliminate parentheses, so I'm going to press scribble, and I'm going to identify who am I multiplying with. So I'm taking the number that is outside and multiply with the numbers that are inside. Very well. Then I'm going to use the calculator to do the multiplication. Also remember, if there is a letter without a number, you put an invisible 1 right there, because that's the same thing as 1x. Okay. Now, some things you don't need the calculator, but so like 2 times 1x is 2x. And then 2 times 3 is positive 6. And this one, 3 times 2 is positive 6. But in any case, if you're having problems, if you're not getting the right answer, please, I encourage you to use the calculator, especially if there's signs and you're making mistakes, okay? 3 times 6, you might need the calculator. So 3 times 6 is 18. So make sure you write positive 18. Then we're going to press space and put the equal sign. And we're going to multiply the next side, which is 4 times 2 is 8x. And 4 times 2 again is 8, so it'll be positive 8. Then we're going to do 2 times 2x. It will be positive 4x, and then 2 times -4 is -8. Okay, very well. Remember to line up the equal sign, so click right there and put the equal sign right in the middle. So that looks really nice. Now I am going to combine like terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to underline my like terms. So 2x is like 6x, 6 is like 18. And since I have my pen handy, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. So I'm going to underline the 8x with 2 lines and the 4x with 2 lines. In the 8, I'm going to do this little scribble there, little squiggly line. There we go. So now I'm ready to do the combinations. So 2 plus 6. So then I'll go over here. 2 plus 6 equals 8x. So go ahead and click there and we write 8x. And then we do 6 plus 18. 6 plus 18 is going to be equal 24. So double click positive 24 space equal space. Now we're going to do a plus 4 gives us 12. Going to be 12x. And then we're going to do 8 minus 8. So 8 minus 8 is 0. So in other words, 8 minus 8 is 0. You don't have to write the 0. Usually what we do is you can just put like this. You can say 8 minus 8 cancel, so you don't write anything. So now I'm going to make sure that everything lines up. Looks beautiful there. Okay, very good. So notice what we've done. We eliminated parentheses, so we've done step number 1. We combined like terms, so we did step number 2. Now we're ready for step number 3, which is move the numbers. Remember, our goal in moving the numbers is to have the letters on this side and the numbers without letters on this side. Remember the special rule, if you move sides, you need to change the sign of the number. So let's go. 8x. 8x is on the right side. So 8x, all you have to do is bring it down. 24 is on the wrong side, so I'm going to write on the other side. And so in other words, 24 is going to move from the left side to the right side, and it becomes negative 24. 12x is on the wrong side, so I'm going to send it to the other side. So that means I'm going to double click here next to the 8, and I'm going to write negative 12x. And I can press space and equal sign. So then I can just line up to make it pretty. So I'm going to line up the equal sign there. And I'm going to line up this guy right here. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, now we're ready for step number 4. Combine like terms. So on this particular problem, we can only combine on this side. So we're going to do 8 minus 12. So it'll be 8 minus 12 equals negative 4x. So let's go ahead and write negative 4x equals, and on this side, there's nothing to do with the negative 24, so we just bring it down. So we write negative 24. And let's make sure we line up to the equal sign. So it looks pretty. There we go. Now we're going to divide both sides. So with division, click right here, click the line, and you're going to draw a line right here and one on the other side. And the number that you divide is whatever number is next to the letter. Next to the letter is negative 4, so that's what we're going to divide. So now notice that the negative 4 cancels, and that's exactly what we want. We want the x alone. So we can write x alone right here, equals, and then we find out what negative 24 divided by negative 4 is, and we got positive 6. So we write positive 6, and that's going to be our answer. And if you want to put a square around it, you can put it right there. It looks pretty nice, huh? Okay, now we verify. Look at that. The answer is correct because the final answer is supposed to be x equals 6. We got x equals 6, so woohoo, we got the answer. We're on the right track. So that completes our 2 examples. I hope this video is helpful. I hope that you learned there's 5 steps, and if you follow these 5 steps, every time you're going to get the right answer. Okay, so stick to the steps. First step, eliminate parentheses. Second step, combine like terms. Third step, move the numbers. Fourth step, combine like terms again. And then fifth step, divide both sides. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.